All right. Next question. When I look across it like this in my life, I feel like I have no waist. This is legs. How do you respond to internet trolls?
I ignore and block them. Up until just recently, all I ever did was ignore and block them. There have been a couple that I decided to respond to, and I regretted it. I should have just ignored and blocked them. So I've said what I've needed to say, and now I'm going back to ignoring and blocking. How about you?
I enjoyed your comment to that troll because I took that and I made a whole nother post out of it. Because you normally don't. You told me not to respond to people because you're just giving the trolls what they want. They want.
And then I go and do it.
But here's why I think what you did was great for that. Is that not only did they attack you, but they also attacked your work and your ethic and an award that you earned. No one gave that to you. Mm-hmm. No studio wrote a check for it because you're not part of any one studio. You're an independent contractor. But again, going back to what we were talking about in one of the other videos, there's exclusive. So I can be an exclusive model for a studio. Let's say like Falcon or I don't even know who's still offering contracts anymore. Let's say Cocky Boys or Sean Cody. These are some of the bigger names. And if you're an exclusive, you only work for that particular studio. Unlike us and many others, we're independent contractors. So if either one of those studios decided to call us, we could work for them and not have to explain to anyone else that, oh, I can't because I'm under contract with so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. So by you working with all these different studios, your work ethic, your talent, your performances on screen and behind screen, or off screen, I should say, put you in a completely different category than some other people. That's why you won the award, in my personal point of view. And for somebody to come in and say like, well, the studios bought that for you, or the studio bought that for you, I would love to know which ones.
Show me the receipts.
I want to know which ones. Yes, because damn it, then they all respect. If that's the case, then they all respect you. Someone gave $1 here, someone gave $15 there. You know, here's a $2 bill because it's a collector's item.
And they're good luck.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. You earned it, and it wasn't. It didn't come from the GABNs, it didn't come from AVNs. It came from XBiz. That's a huge award. Not everyone gets one of those. Not everyone gets nominated for one of those. So I'm over the moon proud that you received it. I do hate that someone tried to come in and take that from you, but you said not today, bitch. You said not today.
I was at the airport. That was the third delay. I wanted to come home to my man. And then I'm just scrolling through Twitter and I see some crazy shit. I said, not today.
You said.
You got the wrong one today.
You said, bitch. And when you sent it to me as a text message, it's like, what is this? And I went and looked at it. I said, oh, he pissed. I was like, he pissed. That's how. But I think you handle that as you should handle it. There's no apologies needed. No. Well, I didn't mean that. No, you said what you said. Mm-hmm. You said exactly what needed to be said, and you got off. And then you started blocking people. The way I handle internet trolls, one, I don't respond to them. There's been a few that I've wanted to. But it's just, I don't give them the satisfaction anymore. I'm not going to waste my good energy on somebody's negative energy, because now I have now come down to a level where you're at. Now, sometimes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I know, Miss Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Bitch, sometimes you just gotta cut a bitch. You just gotta come down off your pedestal, cut a bitch,
and then go
right back up. Wash your hands all the way up, because we don't want no evidence. But sometimes you do. Sometimes these trolls come for us. And it's not just us, it's other people in this industry.
I see it everywhere.
And it's our cis women, the cis men, our trans performers, our black performers, male, female. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that these people can sit on their phones, on their computer, or wherever the hell they are at, and leave these little comments, and then just walk away like nothing happened. Bitch, you came for me. And then you expect me not to say anything back, but then when you do, this is what gets me, and this is where I see a lot of people getting in trouble when they reply to these trolls. The trolls take a screenshot of the conversation, but they only take a screenshot of what you said. They don't take a whole screenshot of the whole conversation because they don't want to tell on themselves to make themselves look like assholes. But I will definitely come for you. See, look, Dylan's doing this again. Like, but you left out all of this stuff. You left out everything else to got me to this particular situation. And it's not funny, but it's sad actually that that people feel that they have the right to say whatever they want about somebody.
It's also disappointing to think that there are really people who believe those words that they're saying, that they really are that ignorant, that they really are that narrow-minded, that they really are. Like, it's just like, really? Is this for real? Are you for real?
I don't think some of them, I think some of them are.
You think they're just going for a reaction?
They're going for a reaction. They're just looking for something. Oh, look, I got so-and-so's attention. So now that I got it, let me keep going in. Let me just go ahead and just keep poking the bear. Let's see what can happen. I think that's what the best way is to block them and move on. Especially if you know it's nonsense or what they have these bots out now. I think which sometimes in Instagram and Twitter they're trying to get rid of a lot of those, but the comments are still going to come. My mom has told me this from when I was young. This is way before we knew who RuPaul was. She said people are going to talk trash about me my entire life. Regardless. It's just because of who I am. And I think she was teaching me this because being a young black, at the time, I wasn't out yet, but I think she knew. Just being a young black male in the Midwest, people are always going to talk shit. People are always going to say something about me or my family or maybe the way I'm dressed, the way I talk, the way I act. Something. Somebody's always going to say something negative. It's how I respond. Do I go off on this person and to show them, oh, see, he's just another angry black man? Or do I ignore them? But then if I ignore them, am I giving them power to say whatever they want to me and not stand up for myself? So there's that balance on when do you let it go and when do you stand up for yourself? And I think what you did was excellent. And you took it, you've been blocking people for as long as I've known you. And you're like, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And then that particular person, which you blocked them anyways, but they knew not to come for you again. Some of them, I let them stay on my feed, and I will let the fans handle it because we have some really good fans that we don't have to say anything. Other people will come for them.
I haven't noticed that as much.
Because I don't think it's happening. Other than that negative comment that you had, the one that you blocked, I have not really seen much.
Yeah, no, it's there.
I don't see it
there.
as much. I don't.
The thing is that I don't. I delete and block most of it, but I get it.
Okay.
I get it regularly, and that's how I deal with it: is to delete it and block it.
Excuse me. The comments that aggravate me the most, the trolling, I would say, that aggravates me the most, is when they come for our sexuality. I thought it was just us. I really thought it was just us, but it's not just us. It's other. It's across the board, and it's my personal life. I am a gay man. I've married a man. I sleep with men. But when it comes to our professional life, if the studio calls me up and asks if I'm available, I'm going to say yes, regardless of what the scene is. If I feel comfortable enough to do it, then I'm going to do it. Point blank, period. my job is an adult entertainer. Period. I have to memorize lines. I have to show up to set on time. I have to be professional. I have to do all these things that I don't even want to say an A-list celebrity would do, but just someone who is in front of a camera does. If this is the script that I am given, these are the lines that I was asked and being paid for to do, then that's what I'm going to do. Is that rain?
I think we got rain.
I think it's starting to rain here in Vegas. It's about time.
We need it.
Yeah. But I'm going to do what needs to be done and get over it. If I didn't feel comfortable doing it, then I would not have accepted the job.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period. And there were a handful of kink scenes that I turned down in the very beginning of my career because I didn't feel comfortable with it. I wasn't sure if it was something that I can handle. But now that I know that I can, I'm more than happy to do them. There are some buy scenes that I didn't think I was going to be able to do, but turns out that some of those are some of my favorite scenes to do, especially depending on who my co-stars are.
Mm-hmm. Hasn't it been interesting though and rewarding, like just the process, the journey? Like you probably, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you probably never thought that you would be on camera working with a woman and enjoying it, or working with someone who's trans and enjoying it. But having had the opportunity to, you realize that this is also pleasurable.
It's pleasurable, but it's also fun. Yeah. It also gives me an opportunity to really explore my own sexuality. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that my title is going to change, or I don't even really necessarily have to have a title or a label, but it allows, your hand is fine, I was just moving my leg, but it allows me to do so much more. Mm-hmm. It allows me to do more. Now, there may be one day I wake up and be like, I don't want to do XYZ anymore. And that's fine. But then I could wake up the next day and be like, I was just joking. I'm good with it. But I have that opportunity to do that.
You have that option.
But being in this industry.
And you know what else? You have respect for other people who do that. You don't have to say, oh, this is the only kind of sex that's valid.
Yes.
That's respectable. You know what I mean? Like, you can respect and celebrate everyone's sexuality. It may not be your cup of tea, but that's okay. You don't have to drink it if it's not your cup of tea.
Like living in the Midwest, I never thought that this would be something that I would ever do. But having the opportunity to it's just almost like being at Baskin Robbins. There's 31 different flavors to choose from, and I'm only at 5.
Right.
I still have 27, 20,
and they've all been delicious.
26 more to go. And and I've not met a bad flavor yet. Right?
Right.
And it's fun. It's fun to experiment with it, and I'm doing it in a safe
space.
Yeah, in a safe environment. Whoever I'm with is tested. Don't have to worry about that. Well, let me rephrase. We're all tested, but yet there's still the worry. There's always a what if. There's always something could come up. But for the most part, most of that worry is out the window. I know the person who also I'm filming, they've also signed on to do this, so it's not like we're both coming in blind, like, hey. Mm-hmm. type of thing, and most of the time it's someone that I've worked with before or I've seen, so it makes it easier. There's still times I get into my head that I am not doing things right, and I'll ask. I don't have a problem with asking, like, is that comfortable for you? Did I do that right?
Right.
Especially if I'm working with a female performer or a trans performer. Because it's not every day that I'm with somebody like that, and that I get to really sit down and ask questions and make sure things are right. So when I'm there, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right.
Right.
Because the last thing I want that person to do is to leave set and be like, "Oh, Jake was the worst."
Right.
And they tell all their friends. So then when it's time to book, like, "Oh, Jake, we want to book you for this," and like they get on the phone with whoever, like, "Oh no, we don't want to work with that person."
Right.
And, "Oh, never mind, you're out," type of thing. I want to be respectful to everyone. I want to make sure that everyone is being pleased the best way that I possibly know how. And if I'm not, I want people to speak up and like, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Right.
Or do
And
that more.
it's good to have the conversation with people because each person is different.
Absolutely.
Even within the genders, you may identify as this, this, and this, or this, but then each one of those individual people
It's
are different people, and what brings them pleasure
is completely
is
different.
completely
than
different. So
what you did with the
yeah.
last person.
Yeah, so it's good to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And not feel it's like inadequate. Just talk. Just
Mhm.
ask.
But sometimes that can be very embarrassing though.
If we don't know them well enough, and at this point we know so many of these performers, so many of them, so many of them we consider our friends, that it's easier to have the conversations. But if it's someone who's completely new and you've never met before, that could be a little bit nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's just feel this out, see how it goes.
Yeah, I usually wait for that person to go on Twitter and be like, "Oh my god, I had a great time working with them." Oh, I had a great time too. Because I was just like, you just don't know. It's like you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes, especially when like the silence is awkward, you're just sitting like in between like scenes. That's kind of like staring at each other or going over your lines by yourself because you're not looking at the other person because it's awkward. Like it's sometimes it can get really weird. But how do I handle trolls? I try to just kind of ignore them, kind of let my fans handle them or block them. I try not to let them bother me because I know they're not coming just for me. They're coming for other people, which I hate. I wish you guys would really stop, to be honest. Just, if you don't like something that I'm doing, that Dylan's doing, or anyone else is doing, just keep scrolling. There's so many other things out there to worry about right now than who we're sleeping with.
Yeah.
Or who we're not sleeping
And there's
with.
there's so many other things to watch. Just move to the next clip.
Yeah.
Move to the next performer.
You go like that. And
You just move on.
Just keep scrolling.
Move on. It takes too much time and energy to type out a negative comment. Just move on.
Yeah. That's what I do. Just,
Yeah.
if I see something I like it, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Next.
Yeah.
Or I heart it. I'm like, okay,
I'm like,
that's what I need
ooh,
to
oh, no,
comment.
I don't like that. I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
But I never say that. I never tell them I don't like it. I literally just push
Keep
the
scrolling.
button and keep on moving on.
Or I just liking this move.
Yeah.
So sometimes it may not be my cup of tea. If like I'm not, maybe personally may not do that, but it looks interesting. So I'm like, hey, let's keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it pushing.
Mhm.
Isn't that what the kids say? Keep pushing.
Is that what they say?
I don't know if they say that
I don't know what
nowadays.
the kids say anymore.
I don't know.
Do you know any kids?
Shut up.
I don't know any kids.